Oh, this is good. So a good shot right through there. Went through all 4, and in the 4th one, here, come take a look at this.
Hey guys, Myles and Coch here with Tactical Hyve, and as mentioned earlier in the week, we're creating this video based off of what's going on with Call of Duty and people playing Warzone and multiplayer complaining about being shot and killed with pistols, being shot through wood. So what we wanted to do was just an informal video today, testing out different types of wood and different types of common rounds that are found in the actual game. So 9mm, 45 caliber, as well as the 5.7 round, and just kind of take it from there and see what we see. So the different rounds that we're going to be using, as I mentioned, popular calibers or common calibers in the game. One is a Full Metal Jacket. It's an M882 round, which is used a lot by the military, 124 grain. We're going to use a hollow point from, actually from SIG. It's the V-Crown 147 grain hollow point, and then we're going to use the new kid on the block, which is from Novex. It's a 65 grain polymer bullet. So we're going to see how that does. For the 45 caliber, we're going to be using a common military grade 240 grain Full Metal Jacket, as well as a common defensive hollow point round, which roughly runs around about 240 grain as well. And lastly, we're going to be testing a 5.7 round, which is also common in the game.
All right, so we have our test set up here. Our test medium is common building material, 2x dimensional lumber. All right, we're stacking it 3 thick. That gives us 6 inches. So that's heavier than what you're normally going to find in a house. So it'll go through this. It'll go through 4 pretty easy, right? So we may shoot 4 if it doesn't go through this, or it doesn't get a good enough effect on our witness panel. Our witness panel back here is a steel plate. So if that bullet has enough juice, once it gets through this medium to ring this steel, it's got enough juice to send your ass back to respawn.
So we're going to start off with the military Full Metal Jacket M882 and see how it does.
So obviously, Full Metal Jacket, like nothing is even there in the way. So didn't slow it down a bit.
Just sent them back to respawn.
Straight up.
All right, so the next bullet we're going to use is the SIG V-Crown 147 grain hollow point.
All right, so the hollow point had much better expansion, did a lot more damage to the wood, and it still rung the steel, but it was in fragments by the time it hit the steel. There's 2 marks on there where the bullet fragments impacted, but again, rang the steel, so I wouldn't want to get hit with it.
And so the last 9mm round we're going to use is the Novex 65 grain with the polymer bullet, and see how that does. So that 65 grain bullet went right through the wood as expected, and it also rang the steel. Now it's interesting to note that it was only the Full Metal Jacket that went straight through and hit the steel on the same plane as when it penetrated the wood, whereas the other bullets, they spread out. They're basically fragmenting out and hitting different areas of the steel. So interesting to note.
Alrighty, now we're going to move on to the 45. We'll start with the good old military ball. Hard to argue with 45. Left a bigger hole, tore up the wood some more, but deflected enough that it missed the steel plate. It hit the berm good and solid, so you're still going to respawn.
Now we're going to move on to the hollow point using the 45.
That rang.
Rang it.
So that hollow point 45 just ripped right through there, didn't deviate at all, tore out a bunch of wood in the back, and then left a nice little ring on the steel. So I'm not happy with that first Full Metal Jacket military ball shot because I missed the steel. And just for you guys out there, you trolls that are going to be looking at this, I want to make sure that it rings steel for you, just to show you. Wow. Again. Again. All right, so we shot it and it deviated again. Still hit the berm with plenty of ass to send you back to respawn, but hell, let's shoot it again. I want to hear that steel ring. Hey, there we go.
All right, so we've tested the 9mm and 45, 6 inches. Now we're gonna test the 5.7.
All right, 5.7 is the future. That went right through there like it was nothing and rang that steel. That little 40 grain projectile is moving fast. Does the damage. Tail of the tape, right?
So as you can see, 6 inches of wood really didn't do anything. And if you're behind that wood panel in your home, well, you are going to get hit. So we're going to see how it does at 8 inches. And just, although that's thicker than what you're normally gonna find in a house, let's just see what happens.
Yeah, if it'll go through that, it'll go through, well, anything in my house.
So we're gonna start and use 8 inches of wood. We're gonna be working with a 9mm, and I'm going to be using the Novex 65 grain ammo. So that was the Polymer round, Novex 65 grain, and it went through 2 pieces of wood. Didn't make it through the third, but it hit a knot. So we're going to, and usually that's going to be the harder area of the wood. So we're gonna do this again and just see how it does, just to give it a fair try without hitting a knot here in the wood. Okay, so let's see how it does.
There you go, maybe the knot wasn't the issue. Okay, so we shot that again with the Polymer, and Myles, you didn't hit a knot this time. So it was good, you know, consistent wood throughout, and we had about the same performance. So I guess the knot wasn't that important.
So now we're gonna move on to Full Metal Jacket, the M882 round, and see how it does.
Oh, this is good. It's a good shot right through there. Went through all 4, and in the 4th one, here, come take a look at this. Look who's poking out right there. All right, so that Full Metal Jacket coming out of a Glock 19 made it through all 4 boards and just barely poked out the other side. Didn't have enough energy to, you know, even make the steel, let alone ring it. I'm curious though, if that had a longer barrel with a little bit more velocity, whether that would make a difference. So
now that said, I'm going to test it out with a Glock 34 using the same round and see how it does.
So that little bit of extra barrel didn't seem to change much with the performance. It still got stuck in that last piece of wood. So, learn something new.
You're safe. You're safe if you have 8 inches of wood between you and the shot. So now we're gonna move on to the 45 and see how it does. We're gonna start off with the Full Metal Jacket, then move on to the hollow point. So we can see with the 45, the Full Metal Jacket, it did not go through 8 inches of wood, so let's see how the hollow points do. The 45, the hollow point, didn't go through 8 inches as well, so thus far it seems like 8 inches of wood is the magic number for you not to get hit. But let's see how it does with the 5.7.
High velocity and small diameter might do a difference. And it dumped everything right there. So it went through 2 like nothing.
Yeah. As I mentioned earlier, 8 inches seems to be the magic number for pistol calibers. We tried the most common ones in Call of Duty, 9mm, 45, and the 5.7. None of them got through 8 inches of wood. And so since we're out here and Coach has brought out the rifle, let's just see, you know, out of curiosity, what a 5.56 round will do with 8 inches of wood.
Are you still safe? Okay, so there you go, 5.56. That was just M193 regular 55 grain ball, and it tore through 8 just like it was nothing. It got through about the 3rd one and turned over and split in half, so it fragmented as designed, and two fragments came out with enough speed to ring that steel nice and hard. So rifles are a whole other animal.
When it comes to pistols, as we've already mentioned, 8 inches seems to be the magic number. The bullets did not penetrate through, but as you can tell, with 2 inches, most homes are built with 2x4s, and so at the thickest point, you're going to be dealing with 4 inches of wood. 2 inches It will not stop pistol calibers, so just keep that in mind. And as we've already demonstrated with rifle rounds, 8 inches of wood is nowhere near enough as well. So we hope you guys enjoyed that quick video, the Call of Duty ballistics test, and have a better understanding of how deep the 9mm pistols can penetrate, and also understand that if you do get hit and you die in Call of Duty, that it can happen.
Yeah. Don't whine about it.